Now at 9, as sites across the country struggle to find enough lifeguards, we'll hear how the city of Pittsburgh was able to fill its positions. Plus, music on the park kicks off in Parsons. We'll take you there. And we meet a young man in Lamar, Missouri who's bringing new life to the city's golf course.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Police in Parsons, Kansas are searching for a man they say was involved in several incidents yesterday, including an exchange of gunfire. That man is Stadarish Herman. Authorities say yesterday morning he used a hatchet to destroy a vehicle, then committed another criminal damage incident at a different location before leading police on a chase. He escaped, but was later identified as one of the suspects in an exchange of gunfire that hit multiple homes, a vehicle, and a business. Again, he fled the scene, but he left behind his sister, Bernia Herman, who was arrested and charged with aiding and abetting attempted murder in the first degree. If you have any information on Herman's location, you are asked to call the police. The Neosho community mourns the loss of a teenager killed in a crash. The crash happened in Newton County this morning on Missouri 86 near Baxter Avenue. Authorities say 18-year-old Sydney Humphreys died at the scene after her car crossed the center line and hit another car head-on. She was the daughter of a former Neosho police officer and had graduated from Neosho High School just 2 weeks ago. 2 people were in the other car. The other driver, 37-year-old Ellen Anderson of Neosho, and a 4-year-old boy were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. According to CBS News, community pools across the country are dealing with a shortage of lifeguards. However, that's not the case for the Pittsburgh Aquatic Center. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to them about how they're managing staffing.
Summer fun just started at the Pittsburgh Aquatic Center thanks to a full staff of lifeguards. The Aquatic Center requires 2 groups of 11 lifeguards in order for the community to enjoy the pools safely.
We actually have 30 total lifeguards because we have subs as well that are there to step in if people on a team can't make it in.
The pool manager is aware of the lack of trained lifeguard issue that many communities are facing. She believes her team is fully staffed due to her hiring early and paying for training.
So we start out in March looking for lifeguards and open up our applications, and then we also pay for the lifeguard certifications as well as their suits and their visors and anything they need out there.
It's pretty tough. For sure, it's pretty tough. You gotta do a lot of swimming and a lot of just treading the water, I mean, obviously, but yeah, it was tough.
Although Kobe says the training to become a lifeguard can be tough, it's also worth it.
Yeah, we got a lot of people here today. I mean, especially on the weekends, it gets packed, and yeah, I expect a lot of people to come by and just get in the water.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The city of Pittsburgh said the Aquatic Center set a new record for the number of visitors last year. They are expecting even more this year. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us with the first look of the weather.
All right, thank you very much, Jalen. There's been quite a bit of pools of water coming out of the sky out to the west. You can see on radar over the last few hours quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity, but unfortunately it's not making much eastward progress. But as we go towards the weekend, that may change a little bit. We're looking at the drought conditions intensifying once again across southeastern Kansas and now starting to sneak into southwestern Missouri. Just how bad can it be? Well, if you go back 1 year to June 1st to this year, 20 inches in Sedan, Kansas. Normally they're about 40 inches, so they're about 20 inches below normal on the rainfall in Sedan, Kansas. And in Longton, they're about the same, 17 inches below normal right now. And if you take a look at Pittsburgh, we're looking at deficit of 18.5 inches. We normally have 48 inches and we've only had 29. And in Joplin, about 17 inches below, or about 16 inches below where we're supposed to be. So we need some rainfall, and we're going to have some in our forecast. We're going to have very warm afternoons with increasing rain chances and a cold front next week around the middle part of the week, but summer-like weather next weekend. Of course, that means a continuation of the drought. Jalen?
And as Sam said, the continuation of that drought indeed. Missouri Governor Mike Parsons signed an executive order declaring a drought alert in the state. It's the first step in Missouri's drought plan, which allows the governor to direct state agencies to better provide resources and assistance to Missourians in need. The Missouri Drought Assessment Committee is now active and will meet for the first time next week. The U.S. Drought Monitor indicates that all of Portions of 60 Missouri counties are experiencing moderate, severe, or extreme drought conditions. The Quapaw Nation will use a $2 million HUD grant to build an addition to the Kihata Justice Center. It's to house the Family Services Department. Expanding the center will provide more resources to the community.
I think we're going to hopefully start breaking ground maybe in the fall, maybe. We have 2 or 3 months to get like the paperwork filed and get our plan laid out, all of those things before we can start actually building the building and making sure that all of the plans are the way that I envision them to be.
With the new space on the horizon, ideas for more types of services are continually across the center's mind. Just one day after the House passed the debt ceiling bill, the legislation is now in the hands of the Senate. While some Democrats argue the spending cuts go too, some Republicans say they don't go far enough. For Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more.
With just days before a June 5th deadline, senators are racing to pass legislation that would raise the borrowing limit and cap government spending. If the Senate makes any changes to the bill, it would head back to the House, a delay that could result in a government default.
At this point, any needless delay or any last-minute holdups would be an unnecessary and even dangerous risk.
But lawmakers on both sides are calling for amendment votes that threaten to hold up the process. Some Democrats argue the spending cuts go too far, while others, like Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, want more funding for the U.S. military and Ukraine.
I'm not going to destroy our military in the name of raising the debt. I'm not going to be part of a political system in Washington that pulled the plug on the Ukraine at the time they're making advances.
Over in the House, Speaker Kevin McCarthy secured a victory Wednesday night when the legislation passed in a bipartisan fashion. But some Republicans argue McCarthy's deal with President Biden compromised too much, and they're considering the idea of filing a motion to vacate the chair, though the majority say they still have confidence in the speaker.
We started a few months ago with Biden and Schumer saying clean debt ceiling lift or nothing, and just telling us to eat it. So they got a lot of good policy.
The Senate requires 60 votes to end debate, meaning at least 9 Republicans will have to back the bill before the final majority vote to send it to the president's desk. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
One of the representatives who voted against the bill was Southwest Missouri Republican Representative Eric Burleson. We spoke to Burleson, who says some changes need to be made to the bill before he would support it.
Our district did not send me to D.C. to continue to keep adding more and more debt to our national debt, which currently stands at almost $32 trillion. I think that it's important that we start course correcting so we can start balancing our budget and start paying down this debt.
The 99-page bill would restrict spending for the next 2 years and suspend the debt ceiling into early 2025. Coming up, we'll have some tips on dealing with the transition from school to the summer season. The transition from school to summer break can be an exciting time for some, but for others, this change can be hard and at times overwhelming for the entire family. Reporter Mandy Gaither has tips for parents on how they can help the kids cope.
From the classroom to the living room, this time of year can bring a whole host of feelings.
Some might be excited about the end of the school year and starting summer. Others might be a little uneasy. Some might be sad. And all of it's completely okay and normal.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein says to ask children open-ended questions, listen to what they have to say, help kids name their feelings, and then validate what they feel. In any time of change, Baumstein says keeping a routine is key. That includes healthy eating habits, staying active, and getting enough sleep. Keeping meals and bedtimes the same can help too.
When there's a lot of unknown and questioning happening, we don't necessarily feel the most calm or safe. But if we have a routine that's predictable and we know what to expect, kids feel a sense of comfort.
And while everyone's getting used to being out of school, stay away from other unnecessary stressors.
If there's something that doesn't really have to happen right now that could cause some extra stress on your child or the family, we just want to postpone that until we're a little bit further along, a little bit more settled.
And Baumstein says, don't forget to make time for fun.
Sometimes it feels like we don't have time for that, but those things actually make us feel more connected and more hopeful about the future too.
The rate of teenagers giving birth has fallen to a historic low. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention analyzed birth certificates and found over 3.5 million children were born last year. Experts say the data highlights an ongoing shift in the age of those giving birth. For instance, the teen birth rates dropped to another record low in 2022, which is consistent since it's been falling more than 3 decades. The data shows the upward trend among those ages to 40 to 44. Having babies has continued since 1985. More children and teenagers are having weight loss surgery. The number of youth ages 10 to 19 having metabolic and bariatric surgeries has been rising since 2016, according to a study published in JAMA Pediatrics. Between 2020 and 2021, it jumped 19%, even as the number of adults having the surgery dipped because of the pandemic. The American Academy of Pediatrics urges behavior therapy and lifestyle changes to treat obesity. Sam is back with a complete look at the forecast, and later, the Joplin Outlaws kick off their season at home against Des Moines. We'll have highlights in sports.
Well, friends, it was a pretty toasty afternoon across the 4 states, including down in Seneca, Missouri. They started out this morning under mostly fair skies, and then as the afternoon and morning progressed, we started to see some cumulus clouds developing this afternoon, and we're going to put that in motion. You can see those clouds mid-morning, and then in the afternoon, the cumulus started, and then they really started developing into some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. Not everybody got wet, but a few areas got a little bit of rainfall this afternoon. We need more rainfall in our forecast, and there is some, but we're going to have to wait a little bit. We made it up to 88 today. That's not too far from the records of 94 back in 2018. And look at the rainfall. We're already below for the month, and for the year, we're about 6 1/3 inches below normal. Rainfall is found, but it's way out to the west in central and north central Oklahoma, and it's running into a wall across our area, it seems like, and most of the rain has been moving up towards the north. We've just been seeing a few scattered showers here and there. You can see one shower now just west of Commerce in Ottawa County. That's drifting off towards the northwest and is starting to dissipate just a little bit. You can see a few hours ago, there were a few scattered showers here and there across the metro area. Rainfall amounts over the last 24 hours in the green, 1 inch. So some places are starting to get a little bit more in the way of rain, especially out towards our west. And hopefully that's going to start to move a little bit closer to us. Temperatures right now are generally in the 70s, still 82 warm degrees in Parsons right now, 81 in Grove, 77 down in Bella Vista. Right now in Joplin, a beautiful sunset. We have a few clouds off in the distance from that weakening shower. It's 77 right now with a dew point of 63, so humidity is at 62%. All right, let's take a look at the rain chances over the next 36 hours. There's not a whole lot, just a very small chance of showers and storms, but notice as we go through the extended period, rain chances start to increase just a little bit. In fact, looking at the rainfall forecast, we're expecting mainly light rainfall amounts between now and Friday evening. But as we go into Saturday, notice the rain accumulation starts to pick up a little bit. So hopefully we'll start to see some more chances of showers and storms, especially in southeastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma on Saturday. But in the meantime, we're going to be seeing just isolated storms. Temperatures tonight are going to be in the mid-60s with easterly winds. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, again, scattered storms here and there. Not everybody's going to get wet, but temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s once again. And then as we go into Friday night into Saturday morning, lows once again in the mid-60s. And then Saturday afternoon, look at this. I think we're going to see more scattered showers and storms, more coverage area, especially in southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma, with highs in the low to mid-80s. And then on Sunday morning, as you head out to services, temperatures will be in the mid-60s with northeasterly winds. How about the next 7 days? Well, as we go through the weekend, we're going to see those pop-up thunderstorms. Again, best chance on Saturday. And then the rain chances start to decrease once again as we head towards Tuesday. But notice cooler on Wednesday with a high of only 83. And then as we head towards next weekend, Jalen, break out the swimming trunks. We're going to get into the 90s, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was out at the Joplin Outlaws game earlier, and I was already sweating, and it was like mid-80s, so...
Yeah, and the dew points are going to be increasing, so, yeah, the heat index is going to be something we're going to be talking about.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Sam. Coming up, we'll learn about some additional travel fees that you may encounter this summer. Hamburgers and steaks for your summer barbecues are set to get a little bit more expensive, and the reason is a rapidly shrinking supply of cattle. The Wall Street Journal reporting years of persistent drought conditions which make cattle more expensive to raise, pandemic disruptions, and widespread cost have prompted ranchers to sell off livestock, bringing the number of cattle in the U.S. to its lowest level in nearly a decade. Frontier Airlines is bringing back their all-you-can-fly pass with access to more than 85 U.S. international destinations. It costs $299. It can be used for all Frontier flights from September 2nd through February 29th of next year. Frontier says the pass will not include add-on products like bags or seats and is subject to blackout dates. However, traveling this summer may come with some strange additional fees. A report by the Wall Street Journal says some airlines charge up to $200 to change basic economy flights. Booking online can also cost you extra, as some budget airlines add an electronic carrier charge to its ticket prices. The report says Frontier Airlines even charges up to a $5 fee to check in online. When it comes to hotels, many will charge visitors if they need a package delivered. Up next, a touching reunion between a mother and the man who received her son's donated heart after he passed. Tragedy brought two people together and gave them a lasting connection. Jason Summers of Indiana needed a heart transplant, and when Leah Osment's 19-year-old son Thomas passed after a motorcycle accident last November, his young, healthy heart went to Summers. On what would have been Thomas's 20th birthday, his mother drove 9 hours from Georgia to meet Summers and listen to her son's heart once again. She gave Summers a hug and said her soul has tremendous peace in knowing that Thomas lives on through Summers. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, the Joplin Humane Society is at max capacity and needs help. We'll hear how the society is handling all the animals. Plus,
a young man in Lamar, Missouri is showing that you don't have to be a professional to enjoy the game of golf. I'm Anthony Saviello with the story.
The Joplin Humane Society's kennels are getting more and more full. KOAM John Nahaldala talked with the Humane Society and some residents about the current issue with the shelter being full.
Joplin Humane Society is at full capacity, which they say tends to happen around this time of the year. They're asking community members to come in and help them by fostering, volunteering, or adopting animals.
Every year we just have a huge influx. Right now we currently have over 670 animals in our care. That ranges from tiny babies to senior pets. So we've got everybody here, and it's really overwhelming, not just for the staff, but for the animals as well.
Tiana Fisher, Shelter Services Manager, says the Humane Society can house about 450 animals. They are having to double up on cages and use crates.
We have more than 200 kittens in foster homes this very second.
Paisley and Heather Woodall have fostered close to 100 cats in 3 years.
We just wanted to do our part to help out, and we love animals anyway, so it's just something that we can do that doesn't take a lot of our time, and it doesn't take any money, just to be helpful and get animals good homes.
Volunteer manager Chloe Hensley says they desperately need volunteers to get animals out to play and walk.
Normally we try to only work our staff members 5 days a week, but we're having to add on a 6th day right now just because we are so overwhelmed with animals and we are short-staffed. We are hiring a couple kennel techs right now.
Staff members say euthanization is not used to save space or time. They have been partnering with shelters throughout the states, but those are full too. Staff members remind, by adopting you can save 2 dogs by giving one home and giving another one a new spot in shelter. In Joplin, Janna Haudala, KOAM News.
The Humane Society staff says since they're at maximum capacity, they won't accept strays, surrenders, or any type of animals unless you set up an appointment by phone. They also encourage residents to come in and look for their animals that may have gotten loose. Art appeared underfoot outside the Pittsburgh Public Library to kick off a block party and summer reading program. Teenage artists this afternoon had 4 hours to come up with their best creations using chalk on 5x5 sections of sidewalk. It's one of many ways to get young people and the community involved in library activities.
The library actually has a lot of different art programs, and so we like to do those whenever we can. And it's a great day too. It's kind of fun to kick the summer off with something like this.
Artists entering grades 6 through 12 could work individually or in teams of 2. Everyone attending the block party got to vote on their favorite, with a gift certificate going to the winner. That block party kicked off at 4 this afternoon. This year's theme, All Together Now. It celebrates kindness, friendship, and community. The party is also the grand opening of the new library courtyard, which was funded through the Pittsburgh Public Library Foundation.
Renovated our existing courtyard because it had brick pavers, and anybody with mobility issues couldn't use that area. It had no shade and had no furniture, so we took all those things into effect, and we created this new courtyard, and we think it'll be really a nice place for our community.
And for the kiddos, the Southeast Kansas Princesses made an appearance. There was all sorts of fun, including live polka music, bingo, and a book walk. Music in the Park kicked off today at Forest Park in Parsons. The community orchestra performed the first concert of the series. The event brings music lovers together to enjoy a variety of music throughout the months of June and July.
Behind me, we have the community orchestra and choir that are performing. They're performing here for the first time since 2019. COVID hit, and we're just so fortunate that COVID didn't devastate them, that they're back. They sound great.
There will be concerts every Thursday through July. Jeremy Marty, a young man in Lamar, Missouri, is showing everyone his love for the game of golf. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the story.
Jeremy's Creek Golf Course is more than just your average course. Sure, it has freshly cut greens and beautiful ponds, but what makes this course special is Jeremy himself.
Not golf, not us, not off. My dog since me and golfing kid.
Jeremy, aka J-Dog, has been golfing since he was 3 years old. He got the name J-Dog from a popular music artist many might recognize.
Toby
Mac, that's awesome, brother.
Golf camp.
Toby Mac gave Jeremy his nickname at a youth golf camp and has played with J-Dog multiple times since then. Jeremy spends every morning mowing the course. At noon, you can catch him at the course restaurant. And at 1 o'clock, it's tea time. How long has your dad owned the course?
4.
4 years? And you're loving every minute of it, right?
Yes.
Tanner Phipps, the course general manager, not only enjoys being around Jeremy every day, but also says the improvements the Marty family have made has brought new life to the town of Lamar.
It has changed so much. It's crazy on how much they have put into this course, and I think membership-wise, you can definitely tell.
If you're thinking you can outshoot the champ of the course, think again, because J-Dog will putt circles around anyone who steps on the green. Has he ever beat you in golf?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
So next time you're out here at Jeremy's Creek, make sure to say hi to J-Dog. Reporting from Lamar, Missouri, I'm Anthony Saviello.
For more information on the course and Jeremy himself, be sure to follow the course on Facebook and visit their website. A bit later, AI entering the job market.
Artificial intelligence is transforming the hiring process. I'm Marianne Rafferty with a look at what you can do to beef up your credentials and land your next job, coming up.
Well, folks, it was another warm one across the 4 states with temperatures getting awfully close to that 90-degree mark this afternoon. Right now in Seneca, Missouri, it's looking pretty nice at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. A mild night shaping up across the entire area. And as we look at the almanac, you can see that 88-degree high today after starting out at 66. The normals are 82 and 61. And of course, the records 94 and 45. And look at the rainfall. We're already behind on the month as well as the year. We're about 6 1/3 inches below normal. And when you look at the last year, we're going all the way back to June 1st of last year to now. We've only had 29 inches, close to 30 inches in Joplin. Normally we have about 45, almost 46. So we're about 16 inches behind on rainfall. That just goes to show you how severe the drought is. And right now, Most of the rain activity is well west of I-35 and is basically moving northward, not really making much progress towards the east. Instead, we've just been dealing with some isolated showers here and there over the last few hours. You can see just spotted around the area. The last shower over there near Commerce, it is now all gone as well. You can see on the latest picture, you can see that starting to dissipate as it moved over into southeastern Kansas. Temperatures right now are in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees in most locations. 77 in Nevada, same thing over there in Joplin, 79 in Oswego, 82 for one of the warmest readings in Parsons. And when you look at the dew point added in with the temperature, this is what it feels like right now. 82 in Parsons, 81 in Chautauqua, as well as Commerce, 78 degrees over there in Nowata. Right now, looking out towards the west, in Joplin, we have a temperature of 77. It feels like 79, so there is a little bit of a heat index there because the dew point is up there at 63. Rain chances are going to be low, basically zero tonight, but as we go through tomorrow, we'll start to see an increase in showers and storms, especially in the latter periods. As we go into Saturday, that's when the rain chances start to increase across the area for everyone. Rainfall amounts are going to be light in some of those scattered showers and storms tomorrow, but then as we go through Saturday, notice the rainfall amounts start to increase a little bit, especially in southeast Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. Hopefully we'll move a little bit further to the east, but right now it looks like those folks are going to be the best chance of showers and storms. Tonight, lows in the 60s across the areas, southeasterly winds, and then tomorrow, again, partly cloudy with scattered thunderstorms here and there with highs in the mid to upper 80s, especially out towards the west. And then as we go into Saturday morning, mild once again, lows in the mid 60s, pick out your hometown. And then on Saturday afternoon, look at this. Scattered showers and storms are becoming a little bit more numerous, especially in southeast Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma with highs in the low to mid 80s. And then on Sunday morning, the showers will be gone and we'll see temperatures pretty much in the mid 60s. Over the next 7 days, we have rain chances several days, but they're very small chances. A best chance of storms, like I said, is going to be on Saturday and then again on Tuesday as a front drops in from the north and west, and so we cool down a little bit for your Wednesday. But then look as we head towards next weekend. You got it, summer weather on tap with highs in the low 90s and little to no chances of rain.
I know they say Memorial Day is the unofficial start to summer, but as soon as it hit, we're off and running with the heat.
That's exactly right.
All right, thank you, Sam. Try to stay on top of this year's fire threat. California Fire and Placer County first responders ran a live fire training. Officials say the goal is to get each agency together to build relationships before the major disaster hit. Fox's Zach Bieto reports.
These CAL FIRE crews and Placer County Sheriff's deputies are running live fire communication drills here in May so that when California's wildfire season kicks off, there's no hesitation and unified command.
In Placer County since 2020, we have had 5 federally or state declared major emergencies: fires, snow events, storm events, and even civil unrest. And those are critical to the nature of both law enforcement and fire agencies working together.
Using maps, walkie-talkies, and all-terrain vehicles built for communication, command leaders simulated an emergency fire response and practiced what immediate steps to take when it happens. CAL FIRE Chief Brian Estes says it's drills like these that prepare them for the real thing.
When we talk about emergency mitigation, evacuations, displacing of personnel, etc., and getting people back into their homes, we can't do that unless we're all working together.
And teamwork is what led first responders of this region to rapidly get around the mosquito fire last year, which burned almost 77,000 acres of both Placer and El Dorado counties. Leaders say if not for the unified command like what's being practiced here, that fire could have been much worse.
So we come together, like in the mosquito incident, we were unified right from the beginning, making the best decisions on evacuation plans, fire behavior, and all those things that helped us really successfully navigate that incident.
As this group trains for the next large-scale wildfire and all hazard incidents like flooding or snowstorms, the goal remains the same.
We all have to work together in Placer County to make sure that our citizens are safe and they're well protected.
Coming up in sports, it's the opening night of the season for the Joplin Outlaws. Plus, All-America honors for a pair of Missouri Southern baseball players. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, the summer baseball season is finally here for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws open the season tonight at home, facing the Des Moines Peak Prospects at Joe Becker Stadium in Joplin. The Outlaws are the defending Mink League South Division champions. Pick things up in the top of the first inning. Missouri Southern kid here, Steen Lane, on the mound, gets the strikeout there. And still in the first with runners on. Lane makes him whiff at another one. Outlaws get out of the first inning jam. Bottom of the first, William Kelly lines this back up the middle for an RBI single. Colton Reynolds scores. Outlaws get their first run of the season. It's 1-0 Joplin. Later in the inning, same score. Landon Meyer hits it to third. Third baseman, though, not able to field it cleanly. Joplin takes advantage. Outlaws go up 2-0. Now on the top of the third, runners on again. Steen Lane getting a big whiff there. Strikeout ends the inning. Lane goes 5 innings, 4 strikeouts. This game actually still going right now. It's tied at 4 in the bottom of the 8th. The Missouri Southern Lions have a pair of players earn All-America honors from the Conference Commissioners Association today. Second baseman Nate Miskowski and pitcher Cole Woods have earned All-America recognition. Miskowski is a second-team All-American. He's the first position player for MSSU to be an All-American since 2019. Miskowski was great all season. He hit .374 with 19 doubles, 14 home runs, and 4 triples while driving in 66 runs. He's previously been named first-team All-Region and first-team All-MIAA. Southern pitcher Cole Woods is an honorable mention All-American. Woods was 10-3 on the mound this season with a 3.71 ERA. Striking out 109 batters in 99 innings pitched. Finally here, Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight in Denver. Nuggets host the Miami Heat in Game 1 of the League Championship Series. Miami, the 8 seed out of the East. Denver, the 1 seed out of the West. This one actually just went final. Nuggets win it 104-93. Nikola Jokic with another triple-double for Denver. 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 14 assists. So unfortunately, the local team, the Miami Heat, they go down 1-0, but it's the finals. It's going to be a tough series from here on.
Absolutely. You've got, back-to-back MVP, Nikola Jokic. You got to find a way to stop him. But as for baseball, pretty good showing out at the Joplin Outlaws game. There's a lot of people there.
They always draw a good crowd, and especially on opening night. It's not too hot yet. It's not too hot out there.
Yeah, I was definitely out there sweating. But all right, thank you, Jacob. We're back with more news after this. It seems like artificial intelligence is popping up in new places every time you blink. And now, many companies are incorporating the powerful software into their hiring process. Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty takes a closer look at what you can do to stand out from the crowd.
While artificial intelligence hasn't replaced humans in every job just yet, the technology could make it harder for you to land your next gig.
Organizations are using AI to create job descriptions, to source potential candidates from LinkedIn or other public platforms.
Because more businesses are also using AI to review resumes, career development experts like Miranda Redman of Indiana University says it's even more critical you research companies and positions before applying.
Just submitting one generic resume to multiple companies never has been successful. But in this new world of AI, it's just a waste of time, because if you're not tailoring your materials to that job and that organization, then you'll really never get through to the next stage in the hiring process.
Meanwhile, even if you're doing a video interview or application, AI could be monitoring that too.
It takes the candidate's interview answers, downloads those as a transcript, and compares their interview answers to the qualifications and experience that that organization is looking for.
But when it comes to updating your credentials, work smarter, not harder.
Candidates can really use that job description as a roadmap for how to craft their LinkedIn profile, to their resume, to their interview answers, really pulling out those keywords.
Because AI quickly combs through data, Redmond says it's speeding up the hiring process, meaning candidates could hear back about an interview faster than before. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
U.S. and European officials are drawing up what they're calling a code of conduct for artificial intelligence. The voluntary guidelines are being constructed as the growing use of AI triggers warnings about the risk it could pose for humanity, including the capability of mimicking human responses and behavior. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken spoke in Sweden about why it's important, saying it will help governments get ahead on the evolving technology. According to the European Commission, the code won't take effect for up to 3 years. Coming up, how a Kansas City woman is trying to find the owner of an Army uniform she found in a ditch by the side of a road. A Kansas City woman is searching for answers. She discovered a well-maintained Army uniform in a ditch by the side of a road, and now she's on the hunt to find the owner's family. Andy Alcock has the details.
This Army uniform looks so well-maintained you could put it right on. Last Tuesday, Luann Palmer's daughter found it on a coat hanger in this ditch by the family home on a remote road in KCK's Piper neighborhood.
Just thought if it was my dad's, I would want it back.
In one of the pockets, there was a love letter addressed to Howard Pennington from a woman which reads in part, "Sweetheart, my love, I miss you so very much." With the letter and a 1957 postmark from Verdun, France, Luann reached out on social media looking for answers. Molly Jennings responded.
I like to try to solve a lot of mysteries, so I shared it with my daughter and she initially ran with it.
Molly and her daughter found Pennington was assigned to an Area Army Combat Engineers unit. The unit was in France building roads. They also found Pennington died just 3 days after the postmark on the letter. They don't know if he received it or how he died. With further research, Molly found Pennington's relatives in Clinton, Missouri, about an hour away from where the uniform and letter were found. But they didn't know anything about it.
I really just want to know who had it. I want to know why they kept it safe for 65 years.
It's been hung up. Somebody took great care of it. Somebody has to know something.
And that's our time for tonight, and thank you all so much for joining us. But before you go, we'll leave you with a video of a white beluga whale in Sweden. Be safe, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. See you then.